Welcome back. I have Jeff Parker here, and we're going to start off with some COVID numbers. Well, welcome. It's Friday. Can't wait for the weekend.
I was going to say good afternoon.
So you're already,
I'm ready,
you're ready for the weekend, too.
Good morning to you, and happy Friday.
Happy Friday. So
yeah,
you got some numbers there.
So, again, the trend has been good, but recently what we've seen in Orange County and throughout the state was that there was a little uptick, and I think most people feel that uptick came probably from the holiday period and started to see the results. But when you go to the chart there, you can see that our positive cases per 100,000 there on the left, that 4.4, if you recall, that was in the threes. And so we've seen an uptick. What we heard in the advisement that came out a couple days ago was that the county will probably stay in the, we'll call the red tier 2 category for another couple of weeks before it can drop down to that moderate level, which is where we were trending, which was good, was really good news. Unfortunately, another 7 deaths were recorded, but our positive percentage rate still right there at 3.1 is good, and that is the that means that a lot of people are being tested. That's good. We had 158 positive cases that were reported, and unfortunately, like I said, the 7 deaths. With regards to hospitalization, we're about 173 hospital cases, and 45 are in the ICU. So again, those numbers are pretty good compared to what we saw back in July.
Oh yeah.
You know, so again, trending in the right direction, except for this little uptick in cases per 100,000 that occurred in this last. And that's just going to basically put them on hold until they see that going back down before they can move into a different category.
Right, yeah. So hopefully next week we'll see something back to where we were. So that'll be encouraging. Yeah, I know. I heard that potentially we were going to stay in this same level for a little while, and we're all kind of disappointed, but.
Well, and in the community of Laguna Woods, not just here in the village, but the city of Laguna Woods, we had an uptick. I mentioned before, we went from 50 up to 67, and that again corresponding. That could be in nursing homes that are outside of the village. That could be in the village. We don't have the preciseness because of regulations and everything. They can't provide that to us, or won't provide that to us.
Yes.
And so again, wearing masks, being safe out there is critical. Obviously, the importance of that relative to COVID-19 is something that we want to continue to emphasize. Social distancing, staying safe, and be aware of your environment that you're in with regards to that.
Right, exactly.
And hopefully, next week we'll see these trends continue to go down and get us back heading towards that moderate level.
Exactly. I know many of us are anxious, and we want to get out, and we want to start doing the things we used to be doing, but
definitely.
You know, you got to wait. So we understand that you have to be patient as much as we don't want to be. So, well, that's good. So thank you for updating us on the numbers. I'm always glad that you're able to join us and you do that research. So thank you. And then you've got a couple of announcements for next week. We've got some big important live and some recorded things that people might want to hear about.
Yeah, so Lisa, well, next week is really important because we're heading into that election season.
Yes.
And one of the things that is very important for our residents and for the board members is getting to know and meeting the candidates. And so we have a lot of virtual meetings coming up next week, focused on Friday, where we're going to have opportunities for residents in 3rd and United and GRF to meet the candidates that are being placed on the election process to be elected to new board members. So in those candidate meetings, we have 3rd Mutual is at 11:30, and United is at 1:30, and GRF is at 4 p.m.
Right.
One of the things I wanted to mention is with 3rd, they're actually they have 5 candidates, and that's how many spots they had. So they're actually elected by acclamation. And so they still want you to meet the new members. There's 3 that are returnees, and then there's 2 new members. So they're going to be on to introduce you to those 2 new members.
Okay.
Because they want you to understand the change in the board and who's coming on and the responsibilities that they will have. So that's
Right.
really good.
Right.
With regards to United and GRF, they actually have candidates that are running, and so you want you to meet that.
Okay.
The last thing I wanted to mention, kind of going back to the third mutual, is that even though they have this acclamation process, which is the piece of legislation that if you have the same number of candidates that you have spots, you don't have to go through the expense of an election. Third's still having an election though, and this is real important. They're having an election with regards to their CC&Rs and their bylaw change.
Right, right.
And so I don't want to have people think, well, they're doing it by acclamation. There's no election with regards to third. That's, furthest from the truth. The reality is we want people to really understand how important this election is for the third board.
Right.
And so as a part of that, Third Mutual is going to have another town hall. They had one already that
Right.
you aired on TV6.
Right.
And so it's called No Mess, Vote Yes. This is the Tuesday, October 6th from 1 to 2:30. And again, this is a town hall to talk about why this is so important to have people come to and vote with regards to changing their CC&Rs and evaluating that change.
Well, I understand that they need quite a large percentage to be able to do that.
Right. Because of the Davis-Sterling Act and how that is created, when you're changing your CC&Rs, and in this case, they're combining. There's so many different CC&Rs because they were done by tracts when they were formed.
Right.
They're trying to combine them into one set of rules so that everybody in third can understand them and that you don't have to go to 59 different places looking for your information. So this would be one new set of CC&Rs and bylaws that everybody can follow. It'll be more simplistic, more direct, and should be a cost savings for everybody involved, especially the management of it, from third board to VMS to manage those CC&Rs, because we're not circumventing and going around trying to find which rule affects which group.
Right, and that's next Tuesday,
Correct.
and that'll be at, what time did you say it was
From
going to be?
1 to
At
2:30.
From 1 to 2:30, and we will have it here on Village Television
Right.
at that time. And then if you have any questions or concerns or whatever you'd like to mention, you can email to nomessvoteyes@lagunawoodsvillage.com. You could also call 949-354-4199. So that's great. So I think the word is getting out. We've had several folks from Third who have talked to us about it, and so it seems like the word is getting out. So hopefully they'll get their percentages.
And I know at the first town hall, they did get quite a few questions even after the fact, so they'll be able to line those questions up, and the more questions and the precise way they can answer it that they did at the town hall meeting, I think that just provides a comfort level to the third residents to get out there and vote and make a difference.
Okay, perfect. Now, we had Brian Gruner on the other day who talked about some of the reopenings of the pools. So why don't I have you just sort of recap what he was mentioning?
Right, so the good news is that we're looking at expansion of Pool 4 and the hours going back to where we were originally, which is when you look at Pool 4, that's open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So that's was the original Pool 4 schedule.
Right.
So we're able to do that. We went back to our contract lifeguard company and said, hey, we want to expand. So we've been working with them because with COVID-19, the interesting thing with a private company that has lifeguard services, they basically laid off a lot of their lifeguards. So getting them back is kind of taking a little bit more time than we thought, but we have it lined up so that can get open. And then with regards to Pool 1 at Clubhouse 1, we're going to open up that, and we're going to have that open from 10 to 4 on a daily basis. Okay. So that should expand our capacity a great deal. We've had a lot of dialogue with some people saying, hey, I'd like to swim more, or I'd like to have more opportunities to do it, or the convenience of going over to Pool 1 And so having pool 1 open for these additional hours will enhance our capacity. That means basically all our pools are open except for pool 6, which has really not been an active pool anyway. So that allows us to, again, effectively address the concerns that our residents were having. And once we get into full operation on the 12th, which is when that'll happen, reservation system still working really well, we'll be able to see how much more capacity we can add and allow more time per individual in that.
Okay.
Also mentioning that we're going to open, I know Brian mentioned we're opening bocce and getting that going, as well as we're doing extensive work right now and trying to line up additional teachers for outdoor classes so we can expand our activities outside.
Well, let's just hope that our numbers hold and we don't have to go backwards before we start moving forward. So appreciate the positivity in you guys moving forward, because I think it's really helping a lot of people out by staying active and certainly beating the heat, because they need that water right now.
Right, exactly. And it's been a good communication with our residents. We've had a group, active group that was working with us and talking about how we could open up, what our expressing certainly what our priorities are with regards to safety and making sure that we can provide the safe environment, because that's really critical at this point in time. But we appreciate their input, and we're working with them and working with all our residents to make sure we have a good balance out there.
All right, great, thank you. Have a great week, and we'll see you again on Monday.
Sounds great, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. And if you want any information or any more information about what we've talked about, just watch your email, because it's all in What's Up in the Village. And then, of course, you could always go to the website, lagunawoodsvillage.com, and go to amenities, recreation. You could scroll down, and a lot of that information is there for you to see for the pools. We'll be right back.